everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michala, and in today's video I just want to go over my two favorite journals I've been loving, my Filofax Pocket Malden, that's my planner, and my Paper Republic Lay Portfolio in the A6 size. So I thought we could just have a catch up in these two today. I'm feeling more low energy just because I've been really busy. All good things though, and I made myself a little latte of sorts with just some leftover coffee I had that was still kept warm in my coffee pot, and I made a maple sea salt foam for it, so I'm excited for that. So let's light this candle and I'll show you how I've been using these two for journaling and planning for the whole summer. Okay, I tried to light my candle, but I don't know if it'll stay lit. It's actually ever so subtly lit right now, but the wick kind of fell off. And if you can see here, it also like spilled out all of this wax at the end of my last filming session. I think if I catch the light right, it's actually still burning in there, but we'll see how that goes. And let me start by having a sip of my drink because I am a little tired today. This is my latte that I'm sure is looking overblown a little, but it's just some coffee that my husband and I roasted, made in our coffee pot. So just a regular coffee pot. We have the Drew Barrymore brand from Walmart, if you were ever curious, which I don't know if you're a coffee lover like me. I do recommend that brand for a standard coffee pot, and it's affordable but looks nice. And it's that with a little bit of maple syrup in the coffee, and then the topping is heavy cream, and I whipped it with homemade vanilla syrup and a little bit of like chunky salt, like sea salt. So that is kind of my maple vanilla latte. And it doesn't look as good now, but it tastes very good. I'm having to take really big sips to get past all of the foam I made, but that's fine with me because the foam tastes like vanilla ice cream. Let's start with my Filofax. So I have been loving this. I use this for my life planner. I have my Me Plus that I use for work, and I keep it at my desk. This is my everyday carry because it's my wallet and has like my library card and my debit card in the back, and I've been loving it. I have changed this sticker since you last saw it, but I actually have fewer things in these pockets, like less decoration. I have some things still, but they just get pushed around. Let me see if I have this little, I do like this little playing card sticker. I kind of feel like it's lucky, so I like to just put it right there. I think it's cute. And then I have my same dashboard as last time. I really want to do a realistic flip through of how I've been using this and show you the things I've kept up with and the things I haven't, just because I hope that's helpful to you. I don't like to stage my videos. It would take too much time, honestly. I want to just show you exactly how I left them so you can see how I've been using them. I have a chain in between my rings. The chain hangs down here, and I did find, I think last time I might have told you guys that I lost my seashell charm, but I found it. So I'm really happy I did not lose it somewhere like in public like I originally thought, but it does still pop off. So I need to find a way to better secure it down here. But for now, I will attach it so that we can see the intent. Okay, so that's like how that normally hangs, and this is a little charm. Both are from Etsy. The name of the Etsy shop is Gems Direct USA. I'll leave it below, but I really like all of the charms I've gotten from them. This one does not stay closed anymore, so often it pops open, and I do want to add a picture in there, but I still really like it. It looks like a little book with a moon on it and some stars. And my dashboard, like I said, I have not had time to really update it, but I thought maybe we could put something a little different in there. And then I have these two pieces of paper that I cut to look like a tea bag because I'm practicing some design ideas I want to do where I would make a bookmark that looked like a tea bag. So I just have those in there for practicality. And I have my dot stickers. I haven't been using those loads. I'll show you. I thought first we could maybe put a different sticker in here just to switch it up, and then I'll probably try to do a new dashboard for fall, but until then, I thought maybe I'll just like put this cute moth sticker I got in my last stationery haul. Without sticking it on there, I might just put it there, and I might peel this off. This was just meant for temporary decoration, and I'll just show you so we can see together how well it comes off for when you want to switch it up. And it does look like it comes off pretty smoothly. And then sometimes just to not waste this, I would put it like just somewhere to like, you know, almost document that this used to be my cover spread sticker. But we'll see if I find a place for it. For now, I'm just going to put it off to the side, gently stick it to my desk. And I think this is a nice little change, and it kind of goes with my background. It's kind of dark and moody. I never really went full vibrant for summer, but you'll see as I flip through, I have used my blue gel pen on some spreads to kind of help me feel more summery. Here is my same dashboard where I use a little sticker to check off the month when it's complete. And all of these are from the same sticker roll from, I always say it wrong and I do apologize, but it's like King Soda Gem or Soda King Gem. I don't even know. I ordered from that brand one time last year from Jet Pens. They carry that brand, and I love all the sticker rolls I got from them, and they've lasted me a really long time. So I just like to use these little icons to check off my month, and I think it only has 10 different stickers, so I will repeat. But I was thinking I might just like do this red and green one again for like December, and maybe the swan one again for August or September or something, because I really like the look of that one. But I think that's a fun, different way for me to check off the months that I've been enjoying. Still have my little dashboard. I don't really change this because I really like it, actually, with this sticker that's not stuck down of a bust. That's from the same pack as these two stickers. And a Polaroid of my husband and I when we played putt-putt a while ago. And yeah, I like that still. I have this postcard I cut down that's a little thicker that I'm thinking of changing for fall, but I haven't for summer. I've just kept the same one in here, and I keep sticky notes on it. So if I want to jot down something real quick, I just have these sticky notes available. And then I have the same monthly little overview spreads that I make myself, and I am still using them, but I've paper clipped my old ones together because I struggle with taking things out. Let me know if anyone else is the same. I feel like I'll miss them if I take them out. I like to flip through them. But to save me time, if I do want to quickly flip to the current month, I paper clip them together so I can just flip them all at once. And that feels really practical to me. So I really like these paper clips that I have. They all have like a little stone on the end, and I think they're really practical. But I was using, I'll just show you. This is like a thank you card that came with an order from somewhere. I don't even remember. It was from like a small stationery shop. And then the monthlies, if you saw my last video, I was using this to plan my primary and secondary focus for each day. And I still like this, but for the summer, my life just changed so much with my kids being out of school that I still have this key in here for if I want to return to that. But for June and July, and you can see for August, I've fallen off. I'm just using it to check off the day. I find that that helped me still make use of the months, but I didn't have to put in as much effort, and I didn't have as many things to juggle. And just with my kid being out of school, I feel like this was more practical for me to just use this to check off the day. And even that I've kind of fallen off of, but I do like to come through here and check off the days. So I will backlog August. And now that we're back in school, I might put my key back in here and start doing my primary and secondary focus for the day again. But yeah, I really like these spreads, and I like that I batch put them in here for the entire year. I don't have December though. I need to print out December's, but I'm really happy with that because I have had to put less effort in. I feel like I printed them all in one day and put them in here, and it didn't feel like much work at all for how long I've been using them. So I really enjoy those. And then I'm still using my monthly spreads. Again, paper clipped all of the past months together. And here is August. I'll show you July as well. I think last time I did a flip through in here, I was on May maybe. And for June, I didn't really do much. Again, really busy, traveled a lot. But I did write down in red the days that my daughter had dance over the summer, the days I led a creative group at my church, and some birthdays. And this month I put these little sticker roll wreath, like flower wreath stickers around days of people's birthdays. And they're all family members, so I feel like I did not have to write whose birthday. I wrote down a list over here, but these are my brothers and my grandma and stuff. So I just put these little cute stickers to signify their birthdays. And then July, I feel like I made more use of my monthly spread again, and I put days that my husband and I had our coffee pop-ups. I put the days we had trips. I put days my daughter had dance. I put when we were on vacation this week. And then I just decorated it with kind of some blues and greens. And I had these little sticky notes I got in July from Target. I think they were in the back to school section in like the dollar area. So these were only $1, I believe. And it came actually with 2 more purple sets, so another row. So it had 6 little stacks of sticky notes total, and they're kind of transparent. So I've been liking those just to add notes over top of my monthlies because I can still see through them. And this one, all I wrote was bring my kids' Yodo player to the pool house because my sister-in-law was gifting them a new little card to put in their Yodo player. If you don't know, a Yodo player is like kind of like a Tony's box. It's like a little radio, but you can put different cards that have audiobooks, music, and things like that on them. So I just made a little note here. And then for August, I went with a blue theme that kind of matches my current gel pen just to have something fun and different. So I penned in all of the days with that gel pen just to give it a little more color. Like you'll see these ones, I just did a black pen for the days. And these undated monthlies I also make myself, and I'm thinking of adding all of them to my Etsy. I'm actually working on it. I feel like I keep saying that, so sorry if you are one of the few people who have been waiting. I plan to list these very soon. I just want them to be as good as they can be, and so I've been trying to troubleshoot them and make sure that both pocket and personal size inserts look good, and just making sure that I upload them correctly to my Etsy so that you get the digital download and some instructions on how to print it and all of that. But I think they work well, so hopefully I will get those put up on my Etsy soon and I will let you guys know. I used another sticky note in the blue color you can see back here. I thought that felt really summery, just something about this bright blue I've been loving, so I kind of paired it with my gel pen. And I just have a whole set of these Jelly Roll gel pens in a colorway that was called like Moonlight or something. I'll pop it on the screen. But I really like that set because I use them for some illustration as well as just things like this. And I think the color selection is really fun. I messed up something here. I smudged, I don't even remember, and I covered it up with this washi tape. But this month I feel like I've made really good use of the monthly spread just because we had so many beginning of the year school things like skate night, open house, different things like that, because I homeschool my son, but it's a hybrid, so he does go 2 days a week in person. So sometimes it's the best of both worlds, like a homeschool and a private school, but sometimes it feels like a lot of work, but it's still so far been worth it. So I definitely keep track of all the school stuff in here. I really depend on my Filofax to remember everything. And over here I put a sticky note to add some extra things to like these 2 days of different videos I want to film. And then my sticker theme I went with was coffee because at the end of July, my husband and I started a coffee company and we have a cart. We both have worked in coffee for 7 years. I mostly do design and menus and all sorts of stuff like that, like even signage. And my husband has run cafes. He's been a barista and a manager and then like operations manager. So we kind of just combined all of our knowledge and are now running our own coffee business. And it's been really fun, but a lot of work. So I also am using this to keep track of that kind of thing. And I definitely use these little washi tape shop stickers to go with the coffee theme. I just had them already and I feel like they're perfect to kind of represent our focus this month on our coffee company. So really still loving the monthlies. And then something new I added, I haven't set up September or anything yet, but I have added this little clear insert, clear pocket with these 2 BTS members. This is RM and this is Jin. And I just added their little like photos that came with my BTS deluxe album thing. It came with photos of all of the members and I just added 2 of them because they're both really funny, honestly. Jin is my age and he's the oldest member, I think, but he is always really funny in interviews. So I just put them in here, and this pocket is not the best quality, but it's what I had, and it does not fit these rings, so only one hole can go in, but I haven't minded. I kind of like that. It's like a little bit loose. It just adds a little bit different like texture, I guess, and like visual difference for me. So I like that, dividing my monthly and my weeklies, because my weeklies are new. Over the summer, I found that I was doing less of that monthly overview like I showed you, but I was wanting more daily areas to just add like order groceries, do laundry, simple things that are mostly life, but every now and then work related. So like this week I didn't have that much, but I still really appreciated having these weekly spreads in here for when I did want to write down something. This day I wrote down work, so the rest of my bullet points about work are in my work planner. But then I did write I have a meeting at 1. I wrote that I wanted to work on my Pinterest and things like that. On this day, I just wrote that Moonlight Peaks was releasing. So that's a cozy game that came out in July that I've been enjoying. And then other just random notes like my husband singing at our church, different things like that. And I use a few stickers here and there to decorate. But yeah, mostly just writing down random things and having a space to do that was really helpful. So these weekly inserts are from Filofax, and they came with my cover, I believe, because this cover I did just get straight from the Filofax website. So I just had these inserts anyway, so it was really nice to have them and just stick them in here. And writing down on this day all these appointments I had was really helpful, but I don't always need that. So I've just been really using these little weeklies for whatever I need. Some days I just write our coffee pop-up in there, and that's all I need to know. And then other days I had, a couple more notes I needed to make. And I like this little section up here is called This Week, so it's for the entire week. So I just kind of put top priorities that I needed to try our espresso beans. I needed to order my son's school books, and I wanted to film a vlog. So that was really nice just to have an area to do any of that. All of these stickers are sticker rolls from that Soda Gym, King Gym, I think is probably what it's called, and Soda is like the brand probably, I don't know. But all of these are different sticker rolls from that brand, from Jet Pens, and so like these are from the same roll. And then this is just like a little star sticker from my kids. This week I had a lot to write because this is the only planner I took with me when we went on vacation, and I worked a little bit while I was on vacation, but not enough to need my whole other work planner. So I just wrote some things in here, and like this day I put a sticky note and I didn't even need it. So there's some things like that, but I just ended up leaving it there. And this is another one of those stickers that kind of has edges like a stamp, but they're clear, so I don't know if you can always see that, but it has like little stamp edges to it. And yeah, I've just been really liking these weekly inserts. That's been a change for me, and maybe come time for fall I won't need them anymore, but I thought it was really handy to have them for the summer. And then my next section is my trackers, indicated by this white tab I have here. And I still use my period tracker. That's still working well for me. I also made this, and I just made a key that matches my tri-colored erasable pen. Let me actually grab that. This is my friction ball pen, 3 colors, slim. It's by Pilot. I don't know if I said that, sorry. It's a Pilot friction pen. 3 colors, and I have the 0.38 size. I really like it, and I like that it's erasable, but I have run out of the gray, so I probably need to get another one because it just is not functioning the same without the 3rd color. But I really like these pens, and I usually have this with me as well, but if it's not with my Filofax, it's over with my work planner at my desk, so that's why I didn't have it right here. So still loving that. I could use a second pen loop somewhere to include that pen more easily. I think the pen loop that comes on the Filofax really only fits with these like really thin pens like this gel pen, so I might add a second pen loop. But anyways, back to my trackers. The rest of my trackers I have fallen off of. You can see this says May, so that is old. And then I have printed off one for August and have not been doing it. And then June and July I took out of here already. So I kind of did a good job setting up for August, but then I haven't done it yet. But I do like that this is in here and undated. I also made this myself just because it can track a bunch of different things. I probably will take my medication off of my tracker, maybe. I don't know. I have a template so I can write in these slots whatever I want, and I might just switch them up a little bit come fall. But I do have these 2 in here for at least using whatever still works for me, such as journaling, my workouts, cleaning and tidying the house, quality time with my kids, my tooth whitening stuff from the dentist, like it's a particular kind from the dentist, and I want to remember when I do it because I don't need to do it every day, if that makes sense at all. So even if I only use my camera cut off because it ran out of space. But I was just saying but having the tooth whitening on here, even if I only use it a couple times a month, is still really helpful so I don't forget the days that I did it. because I'm supposed to do it a couple times a month. But anyway, I have those in here, but I fell off of using them, and I fell way off of using this. I haven't used it at all, so I'm trying to think of a new way to use it for the later half of the year. Let me know if you have any ideas. I do like doing gratitude. I just find that when I journal in my Paper Republic, I tend to kind of go over gratitude, so I don't really need a place to put that, but it is kind of nice just to have like one thing a day. Whether or not it's like something you're grateful for, just something you're taking time to like acknowledge or notice, whether it was a hard day, if it was a day where something really great happened, just to write down something for each day. It's kind of cool to see like a sentence a day at the end of the year. So maybe I'll do that as much as I can. Then I have my little like gaming tracking area. I also, before that, have my water and my mood, which again, I just ended up falling off and letting myself take a break for June and July, and I will get back to that in the fall, I think. I might turn my water into electrolytes because I have POTS, and drinking electrolytes really helps me, so I feel like I might be motivated to come and just check off if I at least had one drink with electrolytes in it that day. So I might switch my little water tracking system up. Again, both are made, if you haven't seen me flip through this before, I go over all of these in my other Filofax videos. If you see any video with the thumbnail, including this Filofax, I go over my trackers in those videos. But I am thinking of switching these up, and I make them on index cards and just cut them down a little bit to fit in here and hole punch them. And then I have a bunch of these little calendars that came in a pack from Amazon. So I have multiple of every month. There are those. This is a little empty calendar I've had for a while. At this point, I just leave it in there. It's from March, so it really has no function, except for March is a character in the game Fields of Mystria, which these are trackers for. That was my way of making a segue there, because March is the name of the character I'm trying to marry in this game. And if you don't play video games where you can marry people, that probably sounds really weird, but I have this little coop animals, so chickens, bunnies, capybaras, and ducks, and how you can breed different colors. If you saw my gaming journal update, this is something I kind of referenced in that video. So I have more trackers in here for breeds of animals. These are the barn animals, these are the coop animals, and then this little spring crop sheet, honestly, just because I had an extra one. So this is redundant. This is in multiple places, but I just liked how it looked, to be honest. And then I put some tape over this to hole punch this in. And this is something I had and ended up not needing. Also, repeating information, but this is what the romanceable characters in the game, the gifts that they like and love. So again, very, very unnecessary, but just fun. And again, I already had this and had folded it that way, and I don't really remember exactly why, but I didn't need it. So because of the small size of it, I just put a piece of tape on this. How would I explain this? I sandwiched the cover of it with a piece of tape hanging off the front and then on the back, so it wouldn't be sticky anymore, and then just hole punched that. So kind of my own little, almost like a sheet protector type of thing. You can buy sticky little tabs that you can put on things with holes punched in them, but I cannot for the life of me find them because I don't think I'm Googling the right name for them. So if you guys know what I'm talking about and know anywhere that they are sold, let me know. I think the website Mochi Things, I found them one time a long time ago and wanted them, but then I haven't found them on there since. So I don't know if I'm just like looking up the right thing or what, but I have not found them. I guess I obviously don't really know what you would call that, so maybe that's my problem. But let me know if you know, because it kind of helps you turn anything into something you can put in your ring binder without having to punch holes in the actual item. So I would like to have more of those. And then the rest of my game trackers in here are just little sheets of colorful paper I've cut down from scraps that I wasn't using. I do like that these are grid papers, and this is for Fields of Mystria, and I like to write the last thing I did so that the next time I play, I don't forget, because I do really tend to forget. I don't play games that often, and when I do, it might have been a while since I played that particular game. So I write down what I last did or what I was working on, like saving up 100,000 for a large greenhouse. I wrote that in here, and most of these I'm transferring to my gaming journal now that I have a whole dedicated gaming journal. But I do still have these in here in case this is all that's with me or something. And I just already had them in here anyway, so I've kept them. This is for Star Sand Island, and I really only had one little note. And then this is for Pokemon Philocopia, and most of it I have done, but I still like to keep room for if I want to write something next time I play. And then I have Philocopia dailies that I transferred to my gaming journal. I have this Coral Island information for different things I was trying to complete at the altar where you like donate things. I wrote down some notes about that. Again, transferred all of this to my gaming journal. And then I have Moonlight Peaks, which is my newest farming sim I'm playing. So really this is a great idea for farming sims specifically, or any game where you feel like you're doing multiple things and you want to keep track of what you're doing. So in Moonlight Peaks, I was like upgrading my pickaxe, buying more seeds, and gifting things to the villagers and things like that. So still enjoying my little gaming area. And then the rest of this whole back half are essentially different forms of lists. So I have video ideas that I've always kept in my Filofax just to like get out of my phone notes app and put them down on paper. So a lot of video ideas, and these are illustration ideas. A lot of them, again, I usually duplicate somewhere. So if I'm out and about and all I had was my phone or a sticky note, I would write it on my phone app or a sticky note, but then later I would add it to my long list of illustration ideas. And on the back is more of them. They're mostly lists back here, and then I have a few of these inserts where I plan any kind of project. I put the title up here if there even is one, like maybe just art project or a video I'm filming, and then I fill out the goals, checkpoints, notes, brainstorm, tasks, and due date. So sometimes this is like for filming clips, and this just helps me organize a project. So there's a few of these back here, and then that's the end of that section. And my last one are more lists, but they're lists that I make almost every day. And some of them I keep in here and return to. So like books and random have been in here for a long time. This is like a multivitamin, a different water bowl for my cat, things like that. And then other lists that I come in here to make regularly are like things that I think are whimsical. I did ring binder favorites list, so like different things that are my favorite things to use in ring binders in case I want to do like a video about that one day. This is a to buy list that I put nothing on, but I guess I started it. Social media tips that someone was sharing, I made a list for that. And then the rest are blank. I've taken all of the finished ones out, so like grocery lists, things I need to order from Amazon for like business or something like that. Those are taken out when they're completed, but sometimes I just leave fun lists in here, or lists of like ongoing books that I want to own, because this helps me when I go to the bookstore. In case I see a book at the bookstore, I can compare it with this list in case I want one of these more than the book at the bookstore that caught my eye, if that makes sense. And then I added some new papers back here that came with my Filofax. So this blue and green and pink papers, just to write like almost like journal entries if I don't have my journal with me, or like here I wrote a recipe I want to try because I saw it in a video or something. And my sister-in-law also gives me recipes, so sometimes I just put those back here. The back has my cards in this clear card holder. That's my library card. Really close that and just show you. Here I keep cash, but I also added like this sticker sheet came with a calendar and I haven't ever used it, so I just stuck it in here recently to try to just make use of it. They're kind of random, but I really don't mind. I'm trying to just use what I have when it comes to like my little planner, just because then I feel more free to use them since they're kind of just like random or weren't being used otherwise. So I'll use those stickers probably in my monthlies. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have in here. I added the little star paper clip on here. And yeah, I think that's everything for my pocket Filofax. I really like that it's just functional and practical, and I can take out what doesn't work for me and swap in like those weeklies like I did when I need something like that. And so I've been having a great time in here. And then I have my Paper Republic, which I've been absolutely loving. I put this charm on here thinking I would not permanently keep it here, but I actually really like it. It has 2 clock faces. I've shown it before, so I'll try to just be brief, but a lot of people ask me where I got this, and it's just from Amazon because it was pretty affordable, but I'll link it in my description. And I always have it linked on my Amazon storefront under Paper Republic favorites. So that's where you can find that if you're interested. And the other charms are from the same place as my Filofax ones. Etsy, Gems Direct USA. And I've changed up some of my inserts in here, so I just wanted to show you. Oh, and I didn't even finish my thought. I was saying I wasn't planning to keep my clock on the front, but I actually kind of like that right there, that sound when I go to take it off. I actually kind of enjoy it. And this clock makes a subtle ticking, which hopefully has not been bothering you if you can hear it in the video. But I find myself liking it, and it's never bothered me. I kind of thought it would, but it doesn't. I kind of like it. So that's my watch charm. And then in here, I still have my tabs. So these like clear tab, this clear backing board with tabs on it. These are, I think I got them in a set from Amazon a long time ago. I have a bunch of different tabs. I know some are from Mr. Pen brand and some are just from like, I don't even know where. I still have these in here. They last me a long time and I can annotate books, which is why they're in there. And then these dots, I've only used one because I switched over to them recently, but I have these dots from Stalogy that I really like as well. And then I have a little ruler. I have this bookmark from Jessica Lancaster Art that I have in there in case I'm reading and don't have a bookmark. And then I have a Polaroid of my husband and I, and then this little like butterfly sticker that's not, the backing is still on it, and I just keep right there. I still have my passport size traveler's notebook clear zipper pouch with the same decoration in the front. And then the back, I do have this Polaroid of myself because my husband had a bunch of Polaroids where he had them pinned somewhere, but he had to take them down. So he kept a bunch, but he like gave me this one, and I just felt like putting it in here for a little bit. I'll see if I can stand to look at a picture of myself. That might sound harsh, but sometimes I find a picture of myself kind of weird, I guess. But for now I have it in there because it's me when I first met my husband and I thought it was kind of cute. So it's like my past self, which I thought is kind of motivating for me when it comes to journaling about my dreams and just remembering where I've been and where I'm hoping to go. And this little plastic keychain has a picture inside that my son made me at school. So I put that in here. I thought this way I would see it the most. And then I have my clear sticky notes I've already shown in this pouch and my dot stickers that I'm almost used them up all the way to move to my Stalogy stickers. I like these dot stickers, but they're like watercolor-esque, so they're really pretty, but they're not very distinct in which color they are. Some of the reds look orange, some of the oranges look yellow, and so on. So it's hard for me to use them to signify different things in my Stalogy that I'll show you in a bit. This insert was in here last time, and it is an undated monthly traveler's notebook passport insert, and I showed that in my last video, so I'm just going to move on to this one. This is my pocket-sized moleskin cahier journal, and I've decorated the front as you can see, and it's my little reading journal. I wanted to show you, I just have a couple more entries in here since I last showed you. So I keep this journal by my bedside and I write in here when I'm reading a book, and sometimes I don't have the cover printed off yet, but I just catch up on that later. But I like to journal in here and set up the pages while I'm reading to take notes about my thoughts as I'm reading, and then I come through later and add the little cover. But I've been really enjoying this and using it a lot more often lately. This entry was for the 8th volume in the Emma M. Lyon series by Beth Brower, and I accidentally made 2 areas for it, so I ended up putting the cover over here. But I still really like having these notes because they help me fill out my reading journal when I sit down and fill out my reading journal every month and make spreads for the books. These notes help me remember what I was thinking while I was reading and help me kind of just fill out that reading journal better. So this is like something I'll put away when it's full, and then my reading journals where I keep like a more official review documented, and I can put those reading journals when they're complete on my bookshelf, and then have my reviews of all of the books in my library eventually written down in those reading journals. So this is more like a supplement to my larger reading journal that I've really been enjoying. And I've been loving, I have this little pen loop that's metal and elastic, so I like it for holding my fountain pens. And I usually have my Pilot Metro pen, but I got this TWSBI Eco in my last haul for my kind of fake stationery fest. I did not go to Stationery Fest, but I went to several local stationery shops, and had a great time. I need to ink this up some more. It has diamine ink in Merlot. It's actually right here. So I need to add more of that, but I've been loving it. It's the root beer color, and the cap twists off if you have not seen one of these before, but I really love it. It's the fine nib, and I kind of already want an extra fine as well, but this has been working great for me. I really, really love it. My Kaweco, I have not gotten to work very well with most inks, so I'm going to ink that with another ink to try, but that pen has really not been working well for me. It skips, it just literally like clogs or does not work, and I'm trying to figure out why, but so far my TWSBI Eco and my Pilot Metro pen have been my favorites. And over here I used to have a Muji gel pen, which I still love, but right now I have this new Rytec 0.5 Duo pen, so it has two colors, and I love this thing. It is very smooth and very inky, like really saturated in ink, and I love that. I'll show you some spreads where I wrote with it. I still have my little commonplace in here, but I have not added any more updates that I want to show, so I'm just going to flip past that for now. This is the back of my Traveler's Notebook clear pocket, and I just have a little note about some inks I want to get, and then this little like butterfly ephemera piece. And if you want to see me go through all of these inserts in more detail, you can see my last Paper Republic video. I show all of those. And then my latest addition is here in the back, and it's not even like elasticed in here, it's just loose. And this is a notebook I'm trying out that I got in my stationery haul. It was $3.50. I'll pop up the brand on the screen because I'm not really sure, but it's in some ways nothing special. Like the paper is not super great with my fountain pen ink, but I do like it. It does feather. I also accidentally closed it before I was ready. But I've been trying out my date stamp in here. I actually have some days I want to come in and stamp, and I have been testing my pen in here and just writing extra thoughts in here, just kind of testing out the paper, and so far I really like it. It does feather a little bit on this paper, and my husband spilled coffee, so that's why I wrote coffee spilled here. There's little speckles of coffee on this page. It doesn't feather enough to bother me, especially for the price of it. So I have that back here. It is a little full with this. This is kind of just like an experiment for me to see how full I like my Paper Republic cover to be. I kind of go back and forth between having it compact or having it really full just to try out. I have my Midori A6 over here because I also really like Midori notebooks and their paper, and I'm still in between when the Stalogy is full if I'll put a Midori in here or if I'll get another Stalogy, because I really like both for different reasons. I kind of want another Paper Republic cover just for this notebook, which is my photography notebook. But what I've been using daily is still my Stalogy. I can't remember what I last showed, to be honest. But I've been having fun in here and trying different inks, as you can see, and different pens. I play around with where I put my margin, and I tend to write in columns and later come through with my ruler that's at the front and a pencil and write in the margin after the fact. So you'll see some of these newer pages probably don't have the margin drawn in yet, like this one. I would probably come in here, like I'll do it right now just to show you because I do this in batches sometimes. And over here I didn't draw a margin and my handwriting was kind of larger that day. So I really just do whatever I feel like in the moment, but then sometimes I sit down and I come through and I like to, where's my pencil? Well, I was going to show you guys, but of course my pencils aren't over here for some reason. I think I packed them up to bring them somewhere with me. Well, joke's on me, I can't find my pencil anywhere. I'll show you the pen for this page, and then I'll probably just do the rest with my pencil later. If you guys can hear that, I'm pretty sure you can. That is my neighbor revving their motorcycle. Okay, so like that's obviously much darker than my pencil would be, but that's what I do after the fact, and I just find that usually more realistic for me, just to do the writing and then draw in the margin line later. You also obviously don't have to draw one. I just wanted to show you that that's what I do, because I always have this journal with me and the ruler is in here, but I don't always have a pencil. So sometimes I come and do that little margin line later. And then I journal daily about just whatever is on my mind. I love to make lists in here as well. And then I do color code the dots for a key that I don't even think I put the key anywhere. It just exists in my mind, but I do want to make a physical key at the beginning of the notebook. But my purpley stickers are just journal entries. The tealish blue are lists. My yellow is like poetry or some kind of more significant writing, like a writing excerpt for a book I'm writing or something like that. And then red is what I consider art, something I created. So again, here's the blue to signify a list. This is where I'm keeping pen stickers and swatches and kind of a little list of all of the pens I like on this paper. And so this was a list of ideas I had to make my home cozier. I have not implemented these, so I like my little dots so I can flip back to this. I might add a tab to this page too. If I refer to a page a lot, that's when I add a tab so I can find it easier. But ideas to make my home cozier, I sat down and brainstormed ways to make myself feel more comfortable in my own home, like adding a candle at the kitchen table for when I homeschool my son, I thought could be cozy in the morning. A big fluffy duvet. I actually have a duvet and want to get a new cover for it. Art above the dining room table. I want to use my diffuser more often. I want a comfy chair by my living room bookshelves. I want more bookshelves in my office and a shelf by my bed to keep my gaming, reading, and journaling stuff that I usually do at night. So these are kind of just like wish list, dream ideas. Some of them are like simple, like getting a candle to put on my kitchen table, and then some of them, like the new bookshelves, might take me longer, but I liked that I just kind of consolidated all of these ideas to make my home cozier here. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but I just rent where I live and I've never owned a home. So I kind of did this list as an exercise of how to make my rented home feel more homey, because I don't know if you guys rent or what you do, but I know a lot of people rent and then still make the place completely their own. I kind of struggle with that and tend to be like, oh, I don't know how long I'll be here, so let me just like leave everything as is and not decorate and not make things cozy. But I'm trying to work on that because I think we'll be here for a while. On this day, I journaled with my Metro pen, my Pilot Metro in my green ink, and then these two entries are with my Muji pen. I did a packing list for my trip. I have this little random piece of paper my daughter gave me, just tucked in here. I journaled about my Penco Perfection pen test. Don't super love it, but I do like how small and little that pen is. It's just really convenient to take with me. And that's this pen, by the way. So really small and compact, really like it, but not my absolute favorite for writing on this paper at least. But I like to try all of my pens over time. This title I did with this red, and it's not very good handwriting at all, so do ignore that. This page I taped in a little card my son gave me, and I was sketching in the garage, so that's what I titled it, and then I wrote with my TWSBI about my sketches and the thoughts I was having. The next few pages are swatches from my stationery haul, so notebook therapy, washi tape set, and then my date stamp over here. Some more washi tapes and things from that haul. And then I wrote about the unselected journals of Emma M. Lyon and how much I'm loving it. This page I haven't added a title, and I might do that later, but I was writing with my TWSBI Eco and talking about that pen, and just put this little star sticker my kids had. Here I wrote some affirmations, and over here I wrote things I'm longing for as a kind of dramatic way of saying just things I want. So I really want to own all of the unselected journals of Emma M. Lyon, all of the volumes, but they're kind of expensive. I want the Pokemon Pocopia update. I want a tapestry, like a wall tapestry for behind my computer. The bookshelves for my office. I would like another Paper Republic in cognac, a glue pen, a Sula stationery bag, and a Penco clampy clip. So just things like that. Some expensive, some not expensive, but I like to write them down instead of buying them right away. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I kind of impulsively buy things and I'm trying to save money. So this just helps with that and helps me return to it, and if I'm still thinking about it, maybe I'll buy it, or maybe I'll just wait and save up money, that kind of thing. Even if it's something smaller, I think waiting to buy it can be helpful when you're trying to budget. So that's what I have this list for. And both of these pages I'll come through and add my margin line with pencil later. But I wanted to show you that I don't do that right off the bat, just in case that helps you in your journaling process. So I wrote in both of these columns, if you can see, like I'll do my margin there. And here I did a pretty good job, but over here you can see like I kind of moved the line accidentally, but it's not a big deal to me. I'll just like fix that later, or I'll just draw my margin, or maybe add like a little decoration there. But my favorite thing I've learned from having this A6 journal is that I love just flipping back to my pages and revisiting them and adding things, or like adding the titles, or adding the margin lines, or adding any little decoration, because it just feels much more doable. And every time I want to journal, I just open it and start journaling, and I don't worry about like setup or good handwriting or anything like that. I just journal. So that's why my handwriting's so like messy and different. Also, the kind of neurodivergence that I am or have or whatever makes my handwriting inconsistent. So that's why sometimes it's kind of crazy. My brain works faster than my hand can write. So if I'm thinking more slowly, my hand can keep up. And if I'm thinking quickly, I usually get kind of crazy or really loose. And sometimes I like how it looks, but sometimes it gets a little messy. Here I started circling the dates instead of underlining. I actually wrote this over 2 days as well. And I also wrote Rytec Dual to remember what pen I was using, just because I was switching up my pens more often at this point. But this is still my TWSBI Eco. So these ones I'll probably add titles to. And then here I am caught up to today. And again, big loose handwriting, because I had kind of gotten in the rhythm of journaling regularly. And sometimes that makes my handwriting better, but sometimes it just makes it more loose, which can look nice and other times looks messy. But regardless, I think this has been really useful. I love the A6 size still. I think it works really well for me, having short, sporadic bursts of journaling capability. This just works really well. If I only want to write in one column, I'll do that. Other times I will write and just fill up one whole page, no columns needed. And yeah, I just kind of go with the flow and figure it out as I go, and don't have any rules really. I like to categorize things after the fact, so I'll go through all the pages that I have not done yet and add my little reference dot colors with my new Stalogy dots. But I do need to get a few more of those Stalogy colors. I need like one more sheet with maybe warmer colors to keep up with the key that I made. But yeah, I've been loving this journal, this size, and this Paper Republic cover. And I'm about halfway through this insert. I'm pretty much exactly halfway through it. And it's a Stalogy half year, if you're wondering. I've gotten that question, I have answered it, but I'll leave all of that information in the description. And I don't know if I'll get this kind of pen loop again, because I like to move my pen loop. So all in all, I've been loving this setup. It really works well for me with the two little front notebooks for reading, tracking, and then my Stalogy. This little commonplace by Midori is a great concept. I like it, but I've pretty much been using my Stalogy as a commonplace. It's also my diary, or just regular journal. So it's kind of everything, but because I do the tabs, I think I will just tab my commonplace entries in here with a different color dot and use this as my everything journal. I think that just will work better for me for now. And so I'll probably take this little one out, and maybe I'll keep this guy in here or not. I might just bring it in my bag when I go to like church, because I like to take church notes, but I don't always want to take this whole journal out just because it feels like a little distracting. But regardless, I've been loving this setup. I love the size, and I've been loving my pens kind of as my thing I'm rotating or changing. It's very fun. I definitely want some more inks for my fountain pens. I only really have like 4 or so, maybe 5 inks for my fountain pens, so I'd like to get some more. But yeah, I've been loving my Paper Republic so much, and paired with my Filofax, they've really been what I've been using all summer. And of course, you can see the size is pretty similar, so I think I've unlocked the perfect size for me, at least right now in my life. And they're very mobile and easy to take with me. So I've been loving this all summer, and I hope you guys have been having a great summer. My camera actually says it's overheating because that's how hot it is where I am. I'm really excited for the transition to fall, and hopefully we'll do a fall update in these journals soon and maybe do my dashboard and those other things and decorate it for fall. As always, happy journaling, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.